Hello guys, I'm Sudarshan, a Starshine Star, and I'm talking to you on a very impactful and shocking turn of events on this Wednesday, September 10th, 2025. I have a YouTube channel called It's the Dazzling of the Light, or you can just go to YouTube and type in at Sudarshan, a Starshine Star to access my over 265 clips, podcasts there that are on a variety of topics and subjects. So please like, share, and subscribe if you do like this content. That really helps me and encourages me and supports me. And why not join my YouTube channel? It's free, after all. Thank you again in advance for doing that. I begin all of my clips with the 3 opening prayers, which are in Sanskrit and Telugu, and they are short. They are the Guru Mantra, the Ganesha Mantra, and the Gayatri Mantra. Before I do that, I command on the sacred blood and the divine authority of Jesus the Christ, Yeshua, to flow over all of us and all of our beloveds, to flow over this podcast, this social media, all of my social media accounts, so I can continue to share the truth, the news, and history. All of your social media accounts, all of you, all of your beloveds. That means all of our human beloveds and all of our animal beloveds. And I ask for a special blessing from thee, Jesus the Christ, today to flow over the soul of Charlie Kirk, a wonderful American patriot, a loving husband and father to 2 small children, who was taken from us by force too short today. And his soul needs the guidance, the protection, and the soothing that any soul needs when they are removed from life forcibly and by surprise. So Jesus the Christ, Yeshua, I ask that you send your blessings and your healing presence and energy to all of us now. Thank you so much. Jesus the Christ, please heal the wounds in our soul. Thank you, Yeshua. We receive your healing and your blessings. Thank you, Mother Mary, for I know that wherever your son Jesus is, you are there too. Thank you for being with us evermore with your pure, divine, unconditional, loving mother's heart, which is also like your son's heart, a heart of a lioness, a heart of a lion, very strong, very fierce, very protective, very pure. Thank you so much. Jesus the Christ, please cast out all satanics, all satanic attachments, all demonics, all demonic attachments. Please cast out all spirits of fear and all spirits of ill health and all spirits of pain. Thank you so much. Amen. Swaha. Listeners, I had, when I heard about what happened with Charlie Kirk today in Utah, at the Utah Valley University where he was speaking, the news first came out, as I mentioned, that he was SHOT and his status was unknown. And then shortly after that, when I found out that it was confirmed that he had passed from his injury to his neck, then I put a short out letting all of you know that. It was too short to make it into a podcast, so it's on my shorts there, but I feel to do this, so I'm going to do it. I want to say that I have something, yes, that I was working on last night and today. I have some podcasts that I still want to put out, even though you might say, hey, we already knew that now, because that already came out. There's information on certain things that I want to present to you, and I will. But right now, I'm just really thinking so much of Charlie Kirk and his family that I just want to share this. This is from Matt Wallace, a blue checkmark account on X, and he posted this a few hours ago. That's at Matt Wallace 888. He said, Charlie Kirk gets a public execution in front of the world for speaking the truth. Irina Zarutska gets stabbed in the neck for being white. Trump gets SHOT in the head and barely makes it out alive for standing up against the system. The far left is responsible for all of this. The media is complicit. Anyone who supports this is part of the problem. It's time to take our country back. Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. And I agree. And I want to say, listener, that for some days I've been holding on to something I wanted to say about the very tragic unaliving of Irina Zarutska, the 23-year-old young Ukrainian refugee who, as most of you might know by now, it was several evenings ago that she got on a train after working hard at a pizzeria in Charlotte, North Carolina. And she's just a tiny little thing. I mean, when I watched these videos when it first came out, it was heartbreaking to me. And I really didn't even want to talk about it because she reminded me of a child, and all the things that I speak out about children and all the horrific things I've had to watch over the years in order to understand the truth of what's been going on in our world. But she was a refugee from the war in Ukraine. And like so many were saying, and then she thought it would be safer here for her to be in Charlotte, North Carolina. And she wasn't receiving any handouts. She was working very hard in a pizzeria, earning money for herself and her livelihood here. And after a long shift, she gets on. She was so tiny. She was just so tiny and petite, very slender, like wisp-like. And she just gets on the train, as the cameras show, and she has a cap on, and she just sits down, and she's absorbed in her phone. She doesn't greet the guy behind her. She doesn't even look at him. She has no interaction with him whatsoever. However, as I'm sure you've seen, and I will show possibly tomorrow in the post that I'm going to do, in the podcast I'm going to do, it just makes your blood run cold when you see the perpetrator named DeCarlos Brown Jr. He just rises up behind her, and he's in a hoodie, and he rises up, and he kind of is like Dracula, because he rises up and like bends his back over her before that he calmly unfolded the knife that he had on him, and then he unfolded it. It was a pocket knife. And then as he goes up, he's behind her, and he crouches over her. He doesn't say anything to her. He's like very quiet. And he almost looks, like I said, like it's like a Dracula figure, because he's arching his back and looming over her like that. And it's just so sad, beyond tragic, when she sees something right before she's unalived, and she knocks her cap off, and she's turned her head up to look at this guy, and the look of sheer terror on her face, on this tiny little feminine face. It looks like a kid to me, even though she's 23 years old. It's just heartbreaking. And he proceeds to violently stab her in the neck. And then what was even more blood chilling, which the cameras show, this was a train full of passengers, and no one did anything. Not one person tried to stop it. And after he committed that, and she was slumped in her own BLOOD on the train seat, unalived, or gasping, trying to breathe, close to being unalived, you see DeCarlos Brown Jr. walking up and down the train, walking by people, and everyone he walks by, they don't even turn their head. They just ignore him as if he was, just taking a jaunt, like in the park. And no one's looking at him, no one's doing anything. And I understand there can be a fear factor here, but no one's even looking at him as he walks past. They're just acting like nothing happened. No one tried to do anything to help Irina. And then you see when he goes into kind of the recessed area where the exit for the train is, and he's dripping with her BLOOD. It's dripping off of him all over to the floor. You see it very clearly of the train car. And he's kind of bends over and to take off his red hoodie. And he just continues to walk up and down, and it's just so heartbreaking, because what really got me, and I only heard this today, and I didn't even know if I could speak about it, because it just brings me to the level of heartbreaking tears, the kind that you just can't really talk about it. But her parents were asked, as the authorities in North Carolina were preparing to ship her body back to the Ukraine for burial, and her parents said, no, keep her there in America. She loved America so much. just keep her there. And that is completely tragic. Yes. And I heard just today also that Elon Musk has given a large sum of money. It's over $1 million. I will find the correct amount and post about it tomorrow. But he's giving that money and donating it to make very large I don't even know what to call it. They're not quite posters, paintings, murals. Yes, murals of Irina in North Carolina and other places to memorialize her. Because this is a turning point in American history. After everything that's been happening for so many years and all that's been uncovered this year of the incredible depth of corruption and terrible devil works going on, not only in my country, America, but all over the world. But this is still a turning point. And you know, Charlie Kirk's last post that he just did, which will be the last one that he did, he was on social media showing Irina's photo, talking about her and doing a clip about her. He's preparing to make a presentation about her. That was the last thing that he was doing other than showing up today in Utah for his event with the students at Utah Valley University for the debate there. So anyway, I'm going to talk more about it even more, but this DeCarlos Brown Jr., what's so terrible about this person is he was arrested 14 times. You can see all 14 of his mugshots, and he was let go 14 times by 14 judges. You know, the cashless bail and no punishment. No matter what he did, he was let back out on the streets. And so there's legislation, which is, again, a topic I will talk about more in depth tomorrow when I post about it, that I was going to post about this morning. But there are, on the floor of Congress, there are bills being proposed, and I have no doubt they will be passed, to change the law to make criminals like this more accountable, and also to make judges that are acting like criminals and supporting crime accountable for all these things that they are doing to support terrible, hellish mayhem and upside down life in the United States of America. And it's all on purpose. It's not accidental. It's all demonic. It's all in alignment with true evil. So then Benjamin Buttersworth, a blue checkmark account on X at Benjamin Butter, he wrote today, the attack on Charlie Kirk is an attack on all of us. There's no point in free societies where your politics justifies violence. And that is so true. Now here's the touching thing I really wanted to share right now. Oh, before I go into that, a few hours ago today on Truth Social, President Trump, Donald J. Trump on Truth Social posted, and it wasn't his only post about Charlie Kirk, but I want to read this, and I adjusted both of my flags for this after I read this. In honor of Charlie Kirk, a truly great American patriot, I am ordering all American flags throughout the United States lowered to half-mast until Sunday evening at 6 p.m. And then you can see the White House lowering their flag. But this is for all American flags all across the United States of America. So just about an hour ago on Truth Social, Donald Trump Jr. at Donald Trump Jr. on Truth Social posted this. And it's so truly touching. I wanted to share it with all of you. He posted it at 4:08 p.m. He said, "This isn't my strong suit, and I don't even know how to begin to put into words the loss I am feeling right now over the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Charlie wasn't just a friend. He was like a little brother to me, and to millions of people around the world, he was a true inspiration. He was one of the most courageous, principled men I've ever known, and he lived every day with purpose. His faith in God was unshakable. His love for Erica was inspiring. And the way he adored and cared for his two beautiful kids showed the kind of man he truly was. Charlie dedicated his life to something bigger than himself. He fought tirelessly for this country, for the values that make America great, and for the next generation. The impact he had on young people, reaching them in masses, giving them courage to stand up, to think for themselves, and to fight for freedom is immeasurable. There's no question that Charlie's work and his voice helped my father win the presidency. He changed the direction of this nation. Charlie was never a threat to anyone. He was civil, he was kind, he listened and responded with respect. The only, quote, threat, end quote, he ever posed was that he was incredibly effective. He was a powerful messenger of truth, and people heard that truth. That's what made him a target. This loss is absolutely devastating, not only for Erica and the kids, but for our country. We've lost a leader, a fighter, and a man whose character and conviction were rare. Too rare. To think that his life was cut short by a brutal, heinous, evil act is beyond comprehension. It is horrible, and it is heartbreaking. Moments like this remind us just how frail life is. We can't wait to tell people how much they mean to us. We can't admire them in silence. Charlie knew he was loved, but I want to say it again. He was a brother to me, and I will carry that with me forever. I know Charlie's legacy doesn't end here. He poured into millions of young people who will carry forward the torch he lit. He built something that will outlast him because it was grounded in faith, in truth, and in courage. And as his friend, I will never forget him. I'll honor him by loving boldly, speaking truth without fear, and continuing his spirit of courage. His fight lives on in all of us who loved him. This is an unimaginable loss for me, for his family, for everyone who loved him, and for America. Rest in peace, brother. You will be missed more than words can ever say, but your legacy will never be forgotten, and we will keep fighting the good fight. I find that so beautiful, deeply touching, powerful, and magnificent, and thank you, Don Jr., for that. You know, Charlie Kirk was only 31 years old. I didn't know that, and that was a shock to find that out. And I don't believe in coincidence, and it was odd because I'm very busy, like I know almost all of you are. I mean, pretty much everybody is all the time, no matter what we're doing, because the days just seem to be so short, and the list of things we need to accomplish and want to do is just very lengthy. But it was just yesterday, and I hadn't done this for a while, so I don't believe in accidents or coincidences, but I watched pretty much the entire presentation that Charlie Kirk just did at Washington State University yesterday. Yeah, I was just enjoying it, and I was enjoying it looking at him as he was debating. It wasn't like someone that goes and gives a speech, although there's nothing wrong with that, and speaking to an audience, and they just listen and clap or don't clap as they choose to. He always invited all the students to come up to the mic, no matter what their beliefs were, and openly express themselves, and openly ask him any question, and then he would respond and interact. And he was always truthful to himself. He didn't put up with nonsense. He was a very common sense guy and very patriotic, but he wanted the debate. He wanted to give the opportunity for these students across college campuses in America to speak, to express themselves and to ask questions, or to listen to his answers, or listen to how he would explain and point to how he came about believing in the things he believed in and the way he chose to live. So I just saw that yesterday, and I'm very thankful for that. Okay, guys, I'm sending much love to all of you. I end all of my clips with the closing prayer, which is in Sanskrit and Telugu, and what I'm saying is, God bless all beings in all worlds. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Yes, peace, peace, peace. God bless you and yours. I'm sending much love and big hugs to you and yours. I'll see you when I see you. Stay safe, be well, and bye-bye for now.